watch this.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah. The GOAT.
Go.
Versus Jado, who we watched play earlier. Very aggressive young Link, and very consistent with combos. Able to find a lot of kills and use those projectiles to find his in. So that's going to be the name of the game for young Link. But again, that reflector from Falco is going to be super clutch. Falco, big combo character. He's just like Bayonetta in that he gets to create his own combos. What he really struggles in is finding ways to approach. So he does have the side B as a first option, but it's pretty predictable. He's going to be relying on Jado to kind of push things and engage first. Because if Jado chooses to go for that more projectile-heavy, campy zoner playstyle, it's going to be really hard for Falco to deal with that outside of the reflector.
I mean, so far it's been bang, bang, bang. Everybody's as soon as there's an opportunity, someone takes it. And that, speaking of opportunity, there is one down smash to be able to get ourselves a first stock off the board. Jado down one, but now immediately ties it back up 0-0, 2-2, and game one is all even.
Right. Now both players just looking for an opportunity for an opening here. We see the grab from Dr. Kirb. Grab's going to be a great thing for combos at those lower percents for Falco, but we're seeing a lot of projectiles from Jado. Good opportunity here for Dr. Kirb. Tries to get the reset there with the up tilt on the platform, but not able to find it just yet. And now kind of trapped at the corner, but feels very comfortable, it seems like. It doesn't feel like he's trying to push towards center stage. And offstage is going to be a great place for Dr. Kirb, as we saw earlier with the down air on the recovery from Young Link.
I mean, with what we've seen so far, we're back and forth. I'm loving it. I'm loving these playstyles. Jado hasn't changed. Feels very aggressive, just as before, which is why Rainbow's don't play shit.
True.
If you don't play aggressive, play aggressive. And I'm loving it. It's going very back and forth. But when is something gonna break? Somebody's just gonna run away with something, or is it just gonna stay this neck and neck thing where it's just a race to the other person's two sides? Which at the end of the day, that's what it is.
I think that's based off of the way that they're playing right now. I think that's what it's going to be. Just kind of poking at each other and getting this chip damage with a lot of projectiles. We're seeing like the laser from Dr. Kirb, just being able to hit like 1 or 2 string combos and then resetting consistently, and then you go for those bread and butters. This is a pretty tricky situation for Dr. Kirb to make it back, and hits the down tilt on that as well. Yeah, Jada just being relentless here at the ledge, able to use the get-up attack to get back onto stage, but that was a great sequence there from Jado, and puts a ton of % on Dr. Kirb, kind of tipping the scales in his favor right now.
Slowly but surely, it seems like Jado will be able to find his advantage in the late portion of this game. Up so much, and will be able to get the final kill. 19% is all he had. All he took in that final stock, and it will be a 1-0 lead in favor of Jado. Young Link, once again, aggressive, and then the aggression plays in his favor and wins him another set.
I love Jado's shirt with the rose on it.
It's kind of sick.
Yeah.
I rock with it. Upside down rose?
Yeah. No, I like it. Yeah, I think like the big thing is
I thought you were going to say something about the shirt.
No. Yeah, I think the big thing is the rose. It's on the front of the shirt.
It's on like the chest, but on the side.
Yeah. It like follows his arm, like could go into the design of the shirt. But what I was gonna say is I think the big thing is being able to deal with like those panic situations that Jado creates with those projectiles. I think the reflector is beneficial, but the same thing that we saw with like the witch time and with the counter from Sephiroth, you have to pick your places with your counters. And so if you are just throwing it out willy-nilly at the ledge, that's a great opportunity for Jado to just wait. Oh, that tech was so good! Saving his life there with the tech. Yeah, Dr. Kirb's pretty consistent with finding those down airs, but just being able to like pick your places with the reflector and find opportunities where you're not going to get blown up for it if Jado just waits a little bit. Down tilt coming in clutch there for Dr. Kirb though, and taking a pretty nice lead in this game too so far. I think Kalos is going to be beneficial because you're going to have the wall jump too for extra recovery, but I'm not sure how the platform playout will work out just yet. It seemed beneficial for both of them for recovering back to the ledge, having that mix-up to go high, but... Oh, okay. lots of shield pressure here from Jado, but Dr. Kirb gonna come out on top, finding that up tilt, not finding the stock just yet, but still has a pretty decent lead right now. And that fair gonna send Jado off stage. But I love that patience there, not choosing to do the immediate low recovery just because of how consistent Dr. Kirb has been able to find those down airs. But still holding on to the stock right now from Dr. Kirb.
Yeah, the amount of time he's not just hold on the stock, and all the basically free damage he's doing, he's basically clearly like 100% up to stock.
Yep.
And yeah, if he can get a kill here, it's almost, obviously not fully, but almost a guarantee that he get at least a good opportunity to get the set in his favor. Set, will not be able to get one, and it will be a 2-2 stock down, although it's obviously a large advantage at the moment. And
Yep.
this game, it feels different than game 1. What, besides obviously the map, it's, you should tell me how big of a difference that makes, but what is the true difference in this game 1 and 2?
I think the recoveries from Dr. Kirb have been better this game and has been able to hit with like the down tilt at the ledge. It seems like Jado's kind of racking things back up again. I don't know. I think like Jado just is really consistent once he finds that fire arrow or the boomerang to find the stock. And so Kirb had like a decent lead, but Jado just needs only like a few interactions with those confirms off of the fire arrow to tie up percent. So now we're at 140. Yeah, we haven't seen like a lot of like the high damage combos from Kirb. Whereas like Falco's kind of like Kazi in that same way. Like Jado's doing a fantastic job of making it so the combo characters aren't being able to play the game. Because Falco's like the type of character where he just gets one hit and gets you to 70, but there's that down air finally coming in clutch there for Kirb. But like the projectiles are just making it really hard for Falco to get something started and get that percent. Like a lot of the time he gets 1 or 2 hits, maybe gets 3, and then Jado's just ready to fire back with a projectile and shut down that whole advantage state that Falco had to work so hard on his approach to get in the first place. Offstage has just been very like messy. Not in like messy play, but in like people are going to die off stage. It feels like both of them are very comfortable killing each other off stage. Down air for Falco, obviously, and then just the ledge trapping from Youngling seems very strong and very hard for Kirb to deal with, especially like Falco's gonna have that side B, which he can use the high recovery, but Jado's very comfortable covering that, and then the Firebird is pretty slow startup on it, so you know exactly where he's gonna go. There's not a lot of mix on it. Oh, but I forgot about that. The side B does spike, so if you try to go off stage against it, you can get yourself in a pretty bad situation if you take your jumps. Something to keep in mind, but based off of the way that Jado is doing a lot more ledge trapping than actually going off stage, I don't know that it'll become like super prevalent. Just being able to snap to the ledge with the side B for Falco is going to be a lifesaver, though.
Definitely. I mean, I like that, as you said, both these players are just willing to play this game off the edge, or off the edge, however you want to say it, and being able, like, you've seen spikes from both players in the first 2 sets of the game, and it's an enjoyable game, or stock number 1 in favor of Dr. Kirb here. Still pretty high in percent, so it's like
there you go. Yep, there you go, there you go.
All the combos.
53, and it's still going. Almost gets that fair too. That probably would have been a stock if Kirb was able to keep that up. But that's what I'm talking about. Like when Falco is able to find that one hit that leads to those high percent combos, he can kind of run away with the game. He has 75% extra credit right now, but finding those approaches has been really hard just because of how aggressive Jado is. Okay, that down tilt.
Extra credit is a fun way to say that.
Yeah, no, I think it's like, it makes perfect sense though, right? Like,
yeah, it makes sense.
So now we're in a situation where he has 82%, but okay, great. I was gonna say punishing that up B out of shield can be very hard. We saw in the previous game that Kirb dropped shield just a little too early and got hit with the last few hits of it, and it's a great combo tool for Youngling, but if you're able to wait it out, using that up tilt into back air, eventually it led to that whole sequence there for Kirb to be able to find the stock. And now sitting in a pretty good situation. just playing super patient at the ledge too, trying to use the laser.
It's definitely changed. Like game 1 was so fast, ugly, and now it feels like they're trying to pick each other's. They're picking the fights.
Yeah.
And they're being very sparing with it. Still aggressive, but just more hesitant when they want to decide to throw themselves at each other.
Yeah, it's weird because Jado is the one, like because of the percent lead and the stock lead, Jado is the one that is trying to push the interactions. Yeah, great drop zone fair there. Like Jado is the one that's pushing forward constantly, which it's typically Falco in that position. But because Jado's using so many projectiles and Kirb's just reflecting them back, it's almost like Kirb is playing the more zoner playstyle with Falco.
It feels that way.
Yeah. But that's not what you typically see from Falco, but it's working out. I mean, up 2-1 so far in this set, and I think just playing that slower game is making it so that Jado's not able to find those confirms that he's looking for. So the slower pace game is working out for Falco. Okay, but back on Hollow Bastion here. Game 4. And again, just seeing Jado immediately throw out these projectiles, trying to shut down the zones. I think that's like the best way to think about Young Link is like he's throwing out the boomerang so that you can't jump. So now your options are more limited and it makes it a lot easier for him to read what you're going to do next. And so he's throwing out those projectiles, not even necessarily to hit you, but to force you to do something. And so Jado just very strong player in that aspect of being able to place those projectiles in fantastic places to find follow-ups or to find confirms off of them. But like there, it's using the boomerang to cover the high jump. It actually hits Kirb on the way back too, but the reflector coming in clutch, hitting both of those projectiles. Kirb gonna have to fight his way off of the ledge, just not able to do it there. Again, Jado just very consistent with those combos at the ledge and finding the kill with the nair at the ledge.
It's hard to predict. Like, we see game 1, it goes in favor of Jado, and then Kirb just, it feels like, not like dominates, but like, it feels like he had the edge the past 2 games. And here, like, you would expect like that, and it just doesn't. And Smash is so unique in that way of just like one subtle change in each player's playstyle, and the whole game changes.
Yeah.
And instead of playing this super aggressive playstyle we saw in game 1, we're playing the zoner playstyle that we just talked about a second ago.
And I think that Smash is like a very turbulent game too, because it's like, even if somebody's up 3 stocks to 1, they can still lose that game. There are so many different aspects to consider that can cause somebody to win or lose, that it's not like, oh, I just like played bad or oh, I played good. Like, I think both of these players are playing fantastically, but if Kirb is able to find like one combo that gets him 70%, then the game is very different than it was 3 seconds ago, you know?
Most definitely. And you talked about like these characters, like Smash is a game of one opportunity. You find that one hole and you take it and you just stretch as much as possible. And it just for each of these players, it's just who's going to find that hole, that little crack that they can take and just absolutely just destroy the other player through it. And it's just these little things back and forth that will just wait, sit. It's really like but it's a fighting game. It's like a fight.
Exactly.
2 boxers sitting there trying to wait for their opportunity.
Yeah, and that like waiting is neutral, but I feel like we're not even seeing a lot of neutral from these 2 players. There's a lot of like getting sent off stage and fighting for our life to get back. So great game there for Jado though. Gonna take that with a 2 stock. It made a lot of adaptations. Avoiding a lot of those like openers for combos from Dr. Kirb, but I'm excited to see this game 5. It's been very back and forth, and I think they're both playing pretty well. It's just like, is Kirb able to find that one opening to get that percent, or to escape the projectile hell basically that he's being sent into? In that situation there, we saw that like just consistently Jado is pushing him to the ledge and then making it really hard for him to get back onto stage. But I think this platform layout might be a little bit more beneficial for Kirb. Having those platforms closer to the ledge and being able to use those for high recoveries might come in clutch for him. So far getting started with a big combo here. Okay, gets the up tilt on the landing as well, and that's going to be 67%. Missing the F smash though. I like how he's trying to mix in the F smash instead of going off stage consistently with the down air. Just having that like mix up can be beneficial, and it's a pretty strong move too if he's able to find it.
Game 5 here, one on the line with these players. But this is still right? In the pool, obviously. Game stock number 1 goes in favor of Kirb, and that I feel like every time I don't know if it's right. first kick stock has had a monstrous advantage. I felt like more than the usual one stock lead would give you. And moving forward, like what you talked about, 84x competitive. And now a 2-stock lead in favor of Dr. Kirb in Game 5 has the opportunity here to take this one here in such a back-and-forth series. It would be huge momentum going forward in the bracket. Now on the edge, just waiting for an opportunity. Just 1 stock away from moving on.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Kirb was using that short hop fair. It's a very strong move in those like scramble neutral situations, like that, because it forces an approach and it's a large hitbox, and also it has like weird landing hitboxes too that make it kind of hard to deal with and punish, but also it's a great air-to-air too. I like that we saw that patience there from Jado though, just waiting it out and using the down tilt on the landing of it instead, but using that fair seems to be a great way for Kirb to reclaim that space and get back towards center stage to avoid the ledge trap that's been costing him so much percent. Oop. Yeah, that low recovery, very smart decision there from Jado, just disengaging from that F smash. Doesn't even want to give Kirb the chance. And there's that fair again, just catching a lot of jumps from Younglink. But Younglink adapting right back, using a lot of these fire arrows and staying pretty grounded, trying to find the follow-ups off of them instead, and able to find it with a boomerang instead. 97%. This is Game 5. So if we're able to see a big combo here, Jado is definitely still in this, but it's looking kind of hard, especially with the way that Kirb is just disengaging and looking for the perfect opportunity to find an up tilt or a back air to take this last stock.
Such a narrow margin. The lead in favor of Kirb.
Oh no!
I feel like at any point he's off the edge. Has to get back on. Will be able to get back on. Now fighting back in the middle. These two. Just an inch away, and Kirb will be able to finish it off. Game 5 goes in favor of Kirb. Takes the series and moves on, I believe, to playoffs.
Yeah, into bracket, I think. That might have been to make it out of pools, but I really do love the way that Kirb started using that fair a lot more, using it in that last situation as a drag down too, to confirm into down tilt, which is going to be one of the stronger kill options at those percents. But just fair in general, paying the bills off stage too, able to use it to edge guard those low recoveries from Younglink. It's just a really strong tool, one of Falco's best moves in my opinion. Seeing it there too to pop off stage and then catches the jump. That was so good there from Kirb, just perfectly spacing that down air. With those confirms from Jado, fantastic.
I mean, just such a good series from both parties. Like, played really well. Neither one of them felt like they had like a major advantage at any point.
Yeah.
And like going up 1 game in this series meant nothing.
Yep.
Like 2 games in a row was possible from the start. We had no clue from the beginning what was going to happen.